Urgent. Actor Mel Gibson accuses the government of a planned conspiracy related to the Los Angeles fires, a tragedy.
I am no conspiracy theorist. I never have. I've never really believed in any of them. But with the LA fires, this is one that I actually do believe. So I'm pretty sure a lot of...
And I don't know, something fishy about them wildfires.
There's a third arrest that is coming. There's 2 that's already down. The world is going to crumble when they see this next arrest. In the meantime, there's going to be deaths, distractions, and fires to hide evidence. Watch for it, ask questions, demand answers.
To the basement of Michael Jackson's former home. Police were called to the scene after neighbors anonymously reported...
Please, I don't have any time for any gossip now. Huh? Yes.
Look at you.
Do something with it.
It's just money coming to me easily. Money coming in and needing me. Money coming in repeatedly. Money coming, it's just money coming. It's just money coming to me frequently. Money coming in to be with me. Money coming in secretly. Money coming, it's just money coming. It's just money coming to me easily. Money coming in and all day. Money coming in repeatedly. Money coming, it's just money coming. It's just money coming to me frequently. Money coming in to be with me. Money coming in secretly.
Welcome back to All Things Jenny. I'm Jenny. So people have been questioning the wildfire in LA. So I know a lot of people don't like to think about conspiracy theory and they look down on people who think about conspiracy theory. But sometimes when it's not cleaning the buttermilk and it just seems something is weird, then it might be weird. So when people started looking into the whole fire, they're starting to put 2 and 2 together and why certain celebrities' homes who is right next door to somebody else's house who was burned down is completely safe and nothing happened to them. And also with everything happening with Diddy, you cannot stop but wonder whether or not the wildfire was started to cover something up. And with Mel Gibson coming out and saying something in an interview made me question things even more. Let's get into it and then we'll break everything down.
I am no conspiracy theorist. I never have. I've never really believed in any of them. But with the LA fires, this is one that I actually do believe. So I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all have seen about the LA Smart City, LA 2.0. What really freaked me out is Gavin Newsom was talking about LA 2.0, how they're going to rebuild better and bigger. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you have seen that interview. And it's just weird to me because if your city is on fire, I think the last thing that you would be thinking about is rebuilding a LA 2.0. 2.0 for any kind of city, wherever you're at. That should be the last thing that's on your mind. You're going to try to figure out how we can help all these citizens. And then later on, when things start to calm down and things start to rebuild, then you can start talking about LA 2.0. So it just seems very weird, very planned to me. I don't know. And again, I'm not trying to sound stupid. I'm not trying to sound like a conspiracy theorist. I'm not trying to sound insensitive at all. It's just very, very weird.
Ally Carter went viral recently after telling people to watch out for the fires. This was followed by the breaking news story of the Pacific Palisades fires, which have ravaged homes, communities, and wildlife. Some users have rushed to TikTok to say that she predicted the fires, but not everyone is convinced. She is known for shedding light on the Diddy case and other Hollywood conspiracies. A few people point out that wildfires happen often in California, so predicting one isn't exactly far-fetched. Still, fans of Ally argue she nailed the timing and location too well to dismiss as coincidence. Some also mention that a warning like this might not do much good if no one takes it seriously. They question whether these predictions can actually help people prepare. Others believe that even a vague heads up is better than nothing at all. There are also those who think Ally Carter knows the secrets of Hollywood and has inside knowledge that most people aren't privy to. They say her accurate calls on major events make them wonder if she knows something we don't. Some people think she is just trying to get attention, and her predicting the fires in California is just a coincidence. They think that it is disrespectful to the people who have lost family members or their homes, and that people like Ally shouldn't be using tragedy to promote conspiracy theories, and that is why.
There's a third arrest that is coming. There's 2 that's already down. The world is going to crumble when they see this next arrest. In the meantime, there's going to be deaths, distractions, and fires to hide evidence. Watch for it, ask questions, demand answers.
Acceptance speeches have been on fire. Who got shouted out the most? Let's look at the numbers. God, creator of the universe, 0 mentions. No surprise in this godless town.
This is the view from an airplane from KTLA photographer Paul Sanchez as he's giving us an aerial perspective to the devastation in the Palisades.
But like this morning, for example, I would be surprised if my home is still there.
Yeah, we were just talking about that. The Palisades is on fire.
Yeah.
My friend Tom Segura, his house is gone.
Yeah.
Where he used to live. He sold it, luckily.
Yeah, I have a son. He's in the sort of volunteer fire brigade, Milo. I call him the mayor of Malibu. And he's running around. I asked him, how's things looking there, Milo? He says, not good, Pops. He says, your neighborhood. And he sent me a video of my neighborhood, and it's in flames. It looks like an inferno. So, yeah.
Do you think this will get you out of California finally?
Yeah, maybe.
The FBI discovered a tunnel in rapper Diddy's home this morning that was actually connected to the basement of Michael Jackson's former home. Police were called to the scene after neighbors anonymously reported evidence of Diddy's new crime. But when they arrive at Diddy's door, they are stopped in their tracks by his staff, who unsuccessfully try to stop the agents from continuing their investigation. When they arrived at Diddy's bedroom, they noticed that the floorboards around the bed seemed to be a little loose. They then moved the bed to one side and were shocked by the scene before them. A tunnel entrance was revealed, covered by a carpet. As they entered the tunnel, they realized that the walls appeared to be freshly built, as if construction had stopped for some reason. As they went deeper, they found strange items scattered on the floor, including children's clothes and baby oil. They continued on and came to the end of the tunnel, and the sight before them shocked everyone. The police immediately called for backup and took photos to gather evidence, and Diddy's crime was further confirmed. When they get to the finish line, they find out all the shocking stuff. Follow and comment on Diddy. Watch.
My stance on this is when a firefighter comes up to a hydrant, we expect there's going to be water. We don't control the water supply. Our firefighters are there to protect lives and property and to make sure that we're properly trained and equipped. That's my position on this. So if there's no water, I don't know how the water gets to the hydrants.
It's been a few hours since I left Diddy's house, and my hands are still shaking. I can't stop replaying everything in my mind. The fire, the chaos, the things I saw, and the things I didn't understand. I used to believe this world was mostly good, that people deep down wanted to do the right thing. But tonight, that belief was shattered. What happened at Diddy's house was something I never expected, something that still doesn't make sense. It's not every day you respond to a call only to find yourself in the middle of a nightmare that feels impossible to wake up from. I thought I was going to a routine fire, another job, another house in need of saving. But what I walked into tonight, it was so much worse than I could have ever imagined. It started earlier today at the station. We'd just come back from battling a massive fire over in LA. It was one of those fires that leaves you drained, body and soul. Even though some areas were still smoldering, the worst of it was finally under control, and we got a much-needed break. The air in the station was lighter, calmer. It was just me and a few co-workers hanging around, swapping jokes, going through the motions of a quiet shift. That kind of normalcy after chaos is rare, and we were soaking it in. And then the call came in. A fire at a massive estate on the edge of town. The address caught my eye immediately. Diddy's house. Yeah, that Diddy. You didn't have to know him personally to know who he was. Everyone did. The guy was larger than life. Huge parties, flashy cars, a lifestyle that most people could only dream or gossip about. But there were always whispers, the kind of rumors you don't want to believe but can't ignore. Stories about what went on behind those high gates, what was real and what was exaggeration. I couldn't tell you. All I knew for sure was that there was a fire, and it was my job to stop it. In those moments, you don't think too deeply. You just move, gear up, load up, head out. That's the job. But something about this call felt different. Maybe it was the tension in the air, the way my coworkers exchanged glances as we rolled out. Or maybe it was the way the dispatcher's voice had sounded, too calm, too rehearsed. Whatever it was, it left a knot in my stomach. One I tried to ignore as we drove toward the mansion. When we arrived, I felt my stomach twist. It was too quiet. The house stood there, massive and silent, not a hint of smoke or flames. Nothing about it suggested there was an emergency. It looked like it was waiting for something, and that calm, that stillness, it wasn't normal. It was the kind of calm that makes your instincts scream that something's wrong. I double-checked the address and asked my team, "Are we at the right place?" They nodded, but the looks on their faces told me they were just as confused as I was. That's when I spotted my supervisor standing near the gate. Clipboard in hand, he watched us pull up with this strange, detached expression. It wasn't the kind of look you expect at the scene of an emergency. It was like he already knew what was coming. I climbed out of the truck and went straight to him. "There's no fire here," I said, trying to make sense of the situation. "What's going on?" He didn't flinch. He just looked at me and said, "The fire's about to start." I froze. Those words didn't make any sense. And the way he said them, it wasn't a warning. It wasn't even concern. It was like a statement of fact, delivered so calmly it sent a chill through me. "What do you mean, about to start?" "There's nothing here," I said, my voice rising. He didn't answer. He just gave me this knowing look, like he was waiting for me to understand something I couldn't yet see. Before I could press him further, I heard footsteps behind me. I turned, and what I saw made my blood run cold. A group of men was walking toward the house, their faces hard, their movements deliberate. They weren't dressed like staff or homeowners. They looked like trouble, the kind of guys you'd avoid if you saw them coming down a dark alley. Each one carried a large container, and as they got closer, the smell of oil hit me like a wave. The men walked straight into the mansion, their movements calm and deliberate. Meanwhile, we stayed outside, watching, confused and uneasy. There were no flames, no signs of fire, just an eerie silence that hung in the air like a warning. I couldn't hold it in anymore. Some were certain Diddy's mansion had been destroyed, while others swore it was still intact. Evidence and counter-evidence piled up, each more confusing than the last. And the more I read, the more I realized the truth didn't matter anymore. All that remained was noise, opinions clashing, theories spiraling, and a growing sense that no one really knew what was going on. I leaned back, my phone still in my hand, and stared at the screen. I couldn't shake the feeling that this entire thing, the fire, the tunnel, the destruction of that room, wasn't about Diddy at all. Maybe it was just a distraction, a carefully orchestrated event designed to keep people looking in the wrong direction. Or maybe it was something else entirely, something so big and hidden that no one could ever figure it out. And that's the scariest part of all, isn't it? We live in a world where truth and lies blur together so completely that we can't tell one from the other. The lines have disappeared, leaving us in a fog where nothing is certain and everything feels like a game. It makes you wonder how much of what we see, what we hear, what we think we know is real, and how much is just smoke and mirrors. I don't know if I'll ever get the answers to what really happened that night. Maybe no one will. But one thing is clear. The world isn't what it seems. It's a place where the truth hides in plain sight, tangled up in lies, leaving us to sift through the chaos, hoping to find something real. And in the end, maybe that's the point, to keep us questioning, distracted, and unsure of what to believe. Thank you for watching. If you've ever felt like you were standing on the edge of something you couldn't quite understand, let me know in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. There are more stories like this out there, stories you won't believe are real. Until next time, stay curious and stay safe.
Urgent. Actor Mel Gibson accuses the government of a planned conspiracy related to the Los Angeles fires. A tragedy unfolded in Los Angeles as devastating fires ravaged forested areas, plunging the city into chaos. Amid the destruction, Mel Gibson, known for his bold statements, appeared on television to make shocking accusations. This is not an accident, it's a government plan, Gibson alleged. Among the coincidences, he pointed out, was the mayor being out of the city during the disaster week, a strange occurrence in the middle of a crisis. Additionally, water reservoirs, key to combating the flames, were inexplicably low, while large quantities of water had reportedly been diverted to other areas just days before. Insurance companies had recently canceled fire insurance policies in affected zones, and the government had cut $17 million from the firefighters' budget. According to Gibson, all of this is no coincidence, especially when linked to a controversial government project, the construction of a smart city by 2028, which would require large cleared territories. His statement sparked an explosive debate on social media. Is Gibson a visionary or a conspiracy theorist? Meanwhile, the mystery deepens, leaving everyone with the same unsettling question. Was the fire a natural catastrophe or a meticulously planned conspiracy?
And I don't know, something fishy about them wildfires. All of a sudden, now celebrities' houses is burnt down in the flames. I mean, look at the celebrities involved. If you ask me, evidence. This is just an alibi for whatever is to come to get lost in the fire, lost in the flames. So North and South Carolina in Maui got $750, but Biden and his administration is going to cover 100% of the cost for LA for the next however long it takes. That's not fishy at all.
I understand that, but if anything goes that way, we're gonna get fired.
Tell them the fire department's been called. They're coming over.
Yeah, they already called the call. The fire department is coming. Why would you do that? Of what? All of it. Make sure that there's no ambulance line. And this is too shelter. You know they have shelters for you.
Yeah, so homeless and arsonists are lighting fires all over LA. This is just a block from where I work. I tried to get here before the firefighters, but looks like they got it. Thank God for firefighters, man.
Massive wildfires are currently tearing up California's west coast, and this has left thousands of buildings destroyed as well as forced tens of thousands to evacuate their homes. But what most people don't know is that these wildfires have been inevitable for years, and people are just now finding out. For example, if you look at where most of the west coast moisture comes in, you can see that Southern California lies right outside of its range. And this is because while the Pacific Ocean deposits a fair amount of rain into the states of Washington and Oregon, this rain is blocked by a high pressure zone encompassing most of Southern California during the summer months, making it generally way drier than its surrounding areas. During the wintertime, however, this zone briefly shrinks down, giving California almost all of its yearly rain in a very short time period. Now, while this means that Southern California should be having a rainy season right now, 2024 saw an abnormally dry season during the summer, and this left on the surface tons of flammable bushes and shrubbery. Coupling this with the immensely strong Santa Ana winds, and these are the perfect ingredients to create huge and devastating wildfires. Now, with climate change becoming more prominent, it's clear that disasters like this are only going to become more common as the years go by.
James Wood posted a picture of his house with the deck just catching fire. Jamie Lee Curtis shared a photo and said, "My community and possibly my home is currently on fire, but my family and friends are safe." Jennifer Love Hewitt shared a photo of them evacuating and said, "Basically everything they love, their whole neighborhood is gone." Jennifer Grey from Dirty Dancing has lost her home. Kate Beckinsale basically said the same thing. The whole neighborhood.
You guys, I've been getting bits and pieces of this, but I haven't seen a complete list until now of all the celebrities that have lost their homes in the Palisades fire. This is unbelievable. Tom Hanks, Steven Spielberg, Miley Cyrus. She's lost 2 homes to fires. It's crazy. Ben Affleck, Jamie Lee Curtis, Anthony Hopkins, Billy Crystal, John Goodman, James Woods, Maria Shriver, Mandy Moore, Eugene Levy, Miles Teller, Paris Hilton, Fergie, Adam Brody, Leighton Meester, Anna Faris, Diane Warren, Heidi Montag, Spencer Pratt, Cameron Matheson, Ricky Lake, Betsy Johnson. This is unbelievable. I mean, this is not just about celebrities. I mean, it's about everybody that has suffered a tragedy by losing their homes or their animals or whatever. But clearly Hollywood has burned down, or at least the Palisades. This is unbelievable.
I don't know, mommy, I'm fucking gone. We're gonna go to Kate's, okay?
It all started on the 7th of this January 2025 when the world woke up to the news that Los Angeles was on fire, with over 10,000 homes and businesses destroyed so far. But before that, something actually happened at the Golden Globes Award on the 5th. Please watch this video carefully.
So much has already happened in the first half, and the acceptance speeches have been on fire. Who got shouted out the most? Let's look at the numbers. All right, cast and crew are leading the way with 11 mentions. Moms are holding strong with 3 shout-outs. God, creator of the universe, 0 mentions. No surprise in this godless town.
Barely 48 hours later, there was a fire outbreak and the city began to burn down. Do you think this is a revenge from God or is just a coincidence? Please drop your comment.
Tonight, the Palisades fire burning homes and forcing thousands to run for their lives. The fire erupting in the Pacific Palisade foothills west of Los Angeles around 10:30 local time. Fire trucks racing to the scene, aircraft attacking it from above.
We threw everything we had at it really quick. We knew that if we didn't get it in 20 minutes, it would go to hundreds of acres.
But those efforts, no match for those devastating Santa Ana winds.
Just in the past couple of seconds since we've been here, this fire has crested this little hill we're on. The entire basin here is engulfed in flames. You can see it all the way down to the ocean behind me. That's where that light is. You can see that fire right now taking over that pile of leaves and debris, and behind us the bulk of that massive fire now taking over most of this northern part of Pacific Palisades.
The entire population of Pacific Palisades ordered to evacuate, traffic gridlocked for miles. Drivers stuck beside burning hillsides, some setting out on foot, vehicles catching fire.
What's going on up there?
Houses on fire up on the corner and all the way down that street.
Megan Garman, her daughter, and their dog evacuating on foot after they abandoned their vehicle.
Well, the smoke just got really bad, so I just started packing up all of our stuff and we got in the car to go. And then all the cars were abandoned, so I had nowhere to go, so I just had to get out of my car and start walking. The smoke is so bad.
Authorities helping the family to safety. Actor James Woods posting this video of flames near his home.
We've got a lot of planes going over, dropping water, but
you can see how that wind is casting the embers, sending that fire right into that house just above that stand of trees in there.
Firefighters in an all-out battle to save this shopping center, pulling hoses right through businesses and even using buckets at one point to stop the spread. The fire danger throughout Southern California critical because of a Santa Ana windstorm that could bring gusts of 100 miles an hour to some areas. The National Weather Service going as far as to warn people to stay away from windows.
You may be able to see that house behind me burning. There are spot fires all over here. You may be able to see them down in that canyon. Multiple houses on fire. We've been here for a couple of hours already here in Pacific Palisades. Every once in a while you hear the explosion of a gas canister.
Many houses have burned. Can't give you an exact number right now, but this is as bad as I have seen it. The wind here is absolutely ferocious, and that is what is turbocharging this fire. And more bad news for people here and across LA County. Millions of people. These winds are expected to intensify tonight and into tomorrow. Lindsay.
Is this or will it be the worst natural disaster in the history of the United States?
I think it will be in terms of just the costs associated with it. In terms of the scale and scope, I'll only remind the folks in California, the Tubbs fire, 5,600 houses were lost, and of course Camp Fire, we had 18,000 housing units lost, and 85 people that lost their lives. Currently, we're getting confirmation from the coroner, so we always have to be careful on the death toll, but it's in the 13 range, and I've got search and rescue teams out, we've got cadaver dogs out, and there's likely to be a lot more.
There is something else happening in California other than these fires. As you can see, this picture behind me is a big-ass Humvee. Military Humvee. So in certain parts of California, they got the National Guards, they got FBI and Los Angeles police blocking certain roads, and you cannot go down. This particular road, there is no fire down there. So why are they stopping people from going? This guy in the video can't even get to his home.
As you guys can see, everything is being blocked off. What you guys can really see here is that we have the military, we got cops, we have FBI agents. What do you think is going on here? You tell me.
No.
They won't let us in our house. And man.
Someone tell me what the fuck is going on. Why is certain areas being heavily guarded?
I just want to start off by saying I don't want to sound insensitive because people have lost their homes and also their belongings. I was involved in a house fire where when I lived with my godmom before she passed, well, after she passed, like I'd say maybe a week after she passed, our childhood home, my childhood home where I grew up, basically burnt to the ground. And I think I told that story before, but it was so weird how the fire happened because to me, it was very spiritual the way it happened because there's no way whatever started the fire could have started the fire. So if you guys want me to tell a story about that, I will. But till this day, I don't have any childhood pictures. I don't have any baby pictures. I could never find any picture of when I was a child. Maybe, you know, from the age of, I don't know, 0 to 5. Anything after that, I think I only have one picture of when I was like 7, and that was taken no, actually I was maybe 11. So I don't have any childhood pictures because I lost everything in a house fire. So I know how devastating that can be. But then again, two things can be true at the same time. Yes, the fire started where people lost a lot, but also it can also be true that the fire was started by people for a particular reason. Because it doesn't make any sense to why a lot of people have been predicting this fire. And yes, don't get me wrong, California is a hot place. It always gets really hot. And there's always wildfires. But this particular fire seems a lot worse than other fires. Just like when the fire happened in Hawaii, people knew that it had happened because of something. And obviously they were trying to make a new island, electronic island, which is what they've been talking about with the whole California. They want to make California 2.0. Why are we talking about making California 2.0 when we haven't even been able to save the first 1.0? California, like it's on fire, people are burning, people are losing their properties and their home, their livelihood, but we're talking about California 2.0. Meanwhile, people are going through it. Like, why is this the first thing we want to talk about while this is all happening? And don't get me wrong, I am going to make a video also about how the Kardashians have been using a lot of water. That is the reason why they haven't had enough water to put this fire out. And yes, water doesn't really do much of a great job. It's better to have sand and all these other things. I'm not a firefighter, so I don't know what the requirements are to put a fire out, but I know water doesn't usually make it better, you know. But because of the whole drought that they've been having is because a lot of celebrities like the Kardashians, Paris Hilton, Khloe Kardashians, and all those people have been using an excessive amount of water, which is causing them not to have enough water to put these fires out, or causing a drought in California. And that video will be up next. But anyways, yeah, so what I meant to say is basically like two things can be true at the same time. Yes, conspiracy theory people shy away from that and look down upon it, but sometimes, you know, the truth is stranger than fiction. It might sound crazy, but when you start to see all the little red flags, then you have to start questioning things. Even though people are going through it, you can still question, like, why is this happening like that and not the other way? And why are some celebrities losing their homes but not other people? Is it because they're trying to burn evidence? Remember how Beyonce's storage all of a sudden became like her storage burned down out of nowhere? As soon as like there was an allegation about them, her storage burned down. It seems that this is one of the ways that a lot of celebrities like to burn evidence, by basically destroying the whole house. Because how else can you burn evidence other than in fire? And if it's an accidental fire, then no one's going to question anything, you know? And it just so happened that a lot of celebrities' home insurance were basically canceled out of nowhere. What do the government know? The government of California, what do they know that we don't know? Like, why were things happening before that is very questionable? All of a sudden, there's this huge fire that is literally destroying California. And we have people who are in California, who lives in California, who are also giving their thoughts on this whole fire, and how like people who are, you know, into arson are basically starting fires for no good reason. Like, why are normal people just starting fires? What are you guys trying to cover up? Were you paid to start these fires? But to me, it's just a little fishy. And I like to look at things on both sides just to make sure I'm not missing anything. And right now it's giving something is not cleaning the buttermilk. So y'all let me know what you think about this video. Like I said, I feel for the people who have lost their homes and everything. But just like I said, two things can be read at the same time. So hopefully in a few weeks or so, when they're able to get these fires under control, or a few days, they will come out and tell you the real truth. But is it likely that they're going to tell us the truth? I don't think so. Because if it was something to cover something up, they're not going to tell us no truth. They're not going to tell us that. So anyways, guys, that's my take on the whole California fire. And I hope this will be the last video about the whole California fire, because it will be done, it will be under control, and people will be able to start fresh. And it's kind of weird that this fire, which fire usually cleanse things, burn things to ashes, you know, alchemy, turning lead into gold and all that. It's kind of interesting that on the first month of the year, we have wildfire in California. That was not part of my bingo card for 2025. So y'all let me know what you think about this in the comment section. I'll see you in the next video. Bye, love you. Bye.